Trump, you are on my last nerve. And I have been a fan from the beginning. I was all for Maga, whatever the fuck. Make America great again, right? Can't make America great if you ain't got nurses, right? Because apparently they're not professionals now, right? Apparently they have not made the Trump administration list for professional jobs. They left nurses off. I don't know if that was a mistake, but I know they got a proofreader somewhere doing their job. So what do you mean nurses are not professionals? People that are saving lives. Are you kidding me right now? Nurses are literally the branches of doctors. And you're not just talking about like nurses. We're talking like, it's talking like nurse practitioners, physicians assistants, and up. Medical doctors. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Now I want to see this list of professionals. But at the end of the day, someone who understands the anatomy of the body and how it works and the homeostasis of the body and how all of it works together. Trump, you better hope something don't happen to you. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? If you drop dead right now, nobody might not give you CPR if you go into cardiac arrest. They just might not. I'm just saying. Like, what in the world? What in the world? I hope that was a typo. I hope that was a typo. What a wild time, too, to decide this, being that there is a shortage of nurses right now. You know why there's a shortage of nurses? Because we are overworked, understaffed, too many patients, and not appreciated. They want to talk about, it's not even a shortage of the nurses, really. I mean, it is and it's not. It's about the scheduling. They are pinching pennies to keep them nurses in there. They're pinching pennies to have so many nurses to so many patient ratio, nurse to patient ratio. Lord have mercy.
Nursing's not a professional degree anymore? Fine. It's okay. No worries. I do have one question though for you, Donald Trump. What are you going to do when you get sick? Because inevitably this will happen. It happens to every single person in the world. It doesn't matter who you are. Everybody ages and everybody begins to have problems, and that is just how that goes. So what are you going to do? Come to a hospital and be taken care of by unprofessional people? People who have no reason to be there, correct? Or go home and ask for a 24-hour care nurse who's also unprofessional. Please tell me what it is that you're going to do, because I guarantee you, your doctors who may prescribe your meds and may diagnose you are also not going to take care of you the way that a nurse does. But it's okay. I'm not professional, so don't ask me to do it.
These programs are not considered professional degrees under the new Department of Education rules, including nursing, physician assistant, physical therapy, and several other essential healthcare fields. Meanwhile, here are the programs that are considered professional degrees. Now, here's why that matters. Starting July 1st, 2026, students in programs not classified as professional degrees will be limited to an annual federal loan limit of $20,500 and a lifetime limit of $100,000. Only professional degree programs qualify for the higher limits, with an annual federal loan limit of $50,000 and a lifetime limit of $200,000. This isn't about prestige, it's about access. Many nursing, PT, and PA programs cost far more than $100,000, and lowering the federal loan eligibility means that fewer students will be able to afford entering these careers. With healthcare already short-staffed, making it harder for students to enter these fields doesn't help anyone, especially patients.
On this edition of FAFO, titled, I Voted for You and I Thought My Career Was Safe. So the Department of Education has done a reclassification of certain degrees that are now deemed non-professional, meaning that certain fields that were previously considered professional will no longer qualify for the higher federal student loan limits needed for graduate school as part of the One Big Beautiful Bill that was signed into legislation recently. And the following careers include nursing, physician assistants, physical therapists, audiologists, architects, accountants, educators, social workers, engineering, business master programs, counseling or therapy, and speech pathology. And in response to this, Wendy Brinley Hines wrote this on the White House Facebook page, saying, "Please remove the limitations of professions. As a professional nurse who has her master's degree, and as someone who voted each time for you, I cannot believe that you would disrespect our profession." Additionally, our middle daughter will graduate as a physical therapist in 1 month, and our youngest is planning on becoming a physician's assistant. All of which take care of patients on a daily basis. Grad school is very expensive. Trust me, I know. I have paid my way myself for each level of education. Please reconsider your thoughts on this bill. We all need professional staff that can afford education in their effort to care for our nation. Oh, Wendy, you have a master's degree, yet you voted for him yet again. Because that sounds like a very uneducated decision on your part 3 times. And I genuinely do feel bad for those that did not vote for him who are actually trying to pursue careers in these fields. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe there's a section in Project 2025 that wants to shrink the healthcare system as much as possible. Because some people out there think healthcare should be a privilege and not a right. And Wendy, if you do see this, I genuinely hope that you have the day that you voted for. Because this decision is genuinely screwing a lot of people over.
Fam, listen, this story right here is wild, because today we are talking about something that many people didn't see coming, especially the nurses who proudly supported Trump. Yeah, Trump's Department of Education just made a move that basically downgrades nursing as a professional degree. And because of that, nursing students may lose access to the federal loans they need to finish school. You always talk about the real meaning of this because the impact is big. Let's get into it.
Can you imagine going to school for years and then your degree is suddenly just wiped out of the list of professional options and you lose your financial aid? So, did you know that the Department of Education under Project 2025 and the Trump administration has just provided a list of careers that are no longer considered professional degrees? So, I would like to know if any of these fall in your career path. So let's see, we have nurse practitioners, epidemiologists, social workers, physical therapists and occupational therapists, teachers, audiologists, physician assistants, and the list goes on. So I am noticing something here. These are all female dominated industries. How convenient. So all of these things were a part of the RISE committee in the proposal to enhance the big, beautiful bill and eliminate overuse of financial aid in student education. So I got to question all of the MAGAs who are aspiring to be in any of these professions. Is this what you voted for? Did you read Project 2025 before you voted or before someone voted for you? So whoever told you how to vote, are they going to pay your bills? Any regrets? Let's talk about it.
The Trump administration has decided that nursing degrees will no longer qualify as professional degrees. What does that mean? Regulatory decisions surrounding the big beautiful bill will no longer classify nursing degrees among other fields of study as professional degrees, which will limit some students from accessing funding for their education. Trump's big beautiful bill, aptly named for its hundreds of pages, passed in July 2025. The bill set broad policies in areas such as healthcare and taxes, while leaving several regulatory details to individual departments to determine. One of those departments, the Department of Education, was tasked with defining new federal student loan rules. In early November 2025, the department convened the Reimagining Improving Student Education (RISE) committee to conclude a negotiated rulemaking session aimed at placing common sense limits and guardians on future student loan borrowing. The committee decided on 17 regulatory provisions, one of which was a new definition of professional degree. These decisions will affect how much students are allowed to borrow by placing caps on federal student loans. The bill eliminates the Grad Plus loan program, loans for graduate or professional students, which traditionally help students in professional fields, including many medical disciplines, finance their studies. Under the new rules, students pursuing degrees on the official list of professional degrees may borrow up to $50,000 per year and up to $200,000 total. Students whose degrees are not on the list may borrow only $20,500 per year and $100,000 overall. In the related Title 34 regulations defining professional degrees, nursing is not explicitly named among the listed examples such as pharmacy, dentistry, veterinary medicine, chiropractic,
chiropractic, medicine, theology, or law, though the regulations do state that examples of a professional degree include, but are not limited to, these fields. The phrase "not limited to" has historically allowed nursing to be considered a professional degree. Under the new definitions established through the Big Beautiful Bill, nursing was explicitly left off. Following the media attention to the regulatory decisions, Department of Education Press Secretary for Higher Education Ellen Keast told Newsweek the department has had a consistent definition of what constitutes a professional degree for decades, and the consensus-based language aligns with this historic precedent. The committee, which includes institutions of higher education, agreed on the definition that we will put forward in a proposed rule. We are not surprised that some institutions are crying wolf over regulations that never existed because their unlimited tuition ride on the taxpayer dime is over. American Nurses Association President Jennifer Mensick Kennedy responded in a letter saying that excluding nursing will severely restrict access to critical funding for graduate nursing education, undermining efforts to grow and sustain the nursing workforce. These changes are expected to take effect on July 1st, 2026, though rulemaking is still in process.
Nurses and teachers are no longer considered professionals, according to Trump's Department of Education, along with physician assistants, physical therapists, nurse practitioners, audiologists, architects, accountants, other education degrees, social workers, other mental health degrees, and a number of other healthcare professions. And this is all to drive people towards private student loans. Because without that professional classification, well, it caps the amount of federal student aid that one can receive from the government at $20,500. If you have that professional classification, well, that's now capped at $50,000. Professional classifications include doctors and lawyers. Degrees that routinely cost $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 are capped at $50,000 in federal student aid. The other ones are between $40,000 and $80,000 routinely, and is now capped at $20,000. This is all to drive individuals towards those predatory private student loan companies ran by private equity firms. So while the government's going to make all of us that may be pursuing an advanced degree or a degree in general poorer, they're doing so to enrich companies that are already worth billions and billions of dollars.
So here is what went down. The Department of Education under Trump changed how nursing degrees are classified. Nursing used to be in the category of professional degrees, meaning students could get extra federal support, especially the loans that help people finish school without drowning in private debt. This is how it used to be. But now, nursing degrees are being treated like regular undergraduate degrees. Yeah, that means less access to federal loans, and many students will be pushed into private lenders who charge higher interest. This is so hard for these nurses. So while the politicians talk about supporting the working class, their policies are literally making it harder for working class people to become nurses. This is where it gets painful and honestly sad. Yeah, because many Maga nurses were loud on social media. Yeah, they were loud on social media, loud in interviews, loud during the elections. Yeah, they truly believed Trump understood them. They believed he respected the healthcare system. They believed he valued nurses as frontline heroes. But the policies say something completely different. The same people who voted for him are now realizing that the degree they worked hard for is being downgraded. And once again, it's the working class paying the price. Yeah, we all know this. It's the working class paying the price. Let's break this down in real life terms. A lot of nursing students rely on federal loans to stay in school. Nursing programs are long, they are stressful and expensive. We all know this. So many students are adults with families, kids, bills, and responsibilities. So when the government downgrades the degree, that means less federal loan support, more private loans with high interest, more debt, more stress, fewer people choosing nursing as a career. And guess who get hit the hardest? Working class people, black students, people from poor communities, immigrants, and single moms. Yeah, so this decision doesn't touch the rich. It doesn't. It hits the very people who keep hospitals running. Let's be honest, this is not an accident. Yeah, this is how the system works. America loves to say we support the working class. But when you follow the money, every policy pushes working people toward private lenders, big banks, and for-profit companies who get richer from student debt. Yeah, it's worth consolidation. It's worth consolidation because the rich stay rich. The rest fight for scraps. And the sad part, politicians convince people to blame the wrong groups. Yeah, blame immigrants, blame black people, blame poor people, blame welfare recipients. Meanwhile, the billionaire class is laughing all the way to the bank. They're laughing. This is not new. Throughout American history, working class people have been told your enemy is the minority group, your enemy is the poor group, your enemy is the group with no power. This is what they have been told for years. But the truth is, your real enemy is the people making the policies that keep you struggling. This is your real enemy. This move against nursing degrees is another example. Yeah, it's a policy that harms everyday people, but it's packaged in political talking points that make it sound harmless. Working class nurses, including Maga nurses, are waking up to the fact that the system they supported is now hurting them. Can you imagine? Supporting the system, then the system is hurting you. If fewer people can afford to study nursing, we will have fewer nurses. And that means longer wait times. Yeah, more burnout, more shortages, less support in hospitals, especially in poor communities. Because nurses are going to be rare. They're going to be scarce. The very people who said they were saving America are making choices that weaken the healthcare system. This is so unbelievable. I cannot believe this. So, fam, here is the real message. Policies matter more than speeches. Policies matter more than campaign rallies. Also, policies matter more than slogans like Make America Great Again. Because while people are busy fighting culture wars, the government is quietly making decisions that shape your real life, your money, your education, your career, and your future. If we want real change, we have to pay attention, ask questions, and hold people accountable, no matter who they voted for. Yeah, this is all I think about this. Let me know what you think. Do you believe this downgrade was intentional? And how do you think this will impact nursing students and working class people overall? Tell me in the comments. And thank you so much for watching. I will catch you in the next episode. Bye.